the morale was so great. They took some five across stickers, they put it on their laptops. I did not see them this excited when we got into Techstars, even, which I'm like, I'm telling you, it's just the environment.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Awesoming's podcast, where we highlight people pursuing their definition of, you guessed it, awesome. So buckle up and get ready for some more success story adventures and failures from Kentucky's tech and entrepreneur community. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Awesoming podcast. I am sitting down looking at my new friend, Akhil, who is just an absolute beast of an entrepreneur. He is at Story Louisville today, so we're doing a remote recording, and always grateful to have wonderful guests. I wanna give some much needed highlighting and praise to Akhil. He's just a great entrepreneur, great guy, and he won the 5 Across finals for this past calendar year, 2022, and very excited for what Akhil is doing with Xena Intelligence. Akhil, I don't know if you gave the quick background of the name last time we sat down together, so let's make sure we cover that this time. But really just want to highlight an entrepreneur who is on the up and up and doing excellent work, along with all of the other entrepreneurs that have pitched in our 5 Across pitch competition this year. So again, really cool to see. I believe it was 25 different entrepreneurs that came to Lexington this year that pitched their company. Akhil was the one that either had maybe the most traction or most promise from some of the judges who got to view his company and his pitch. And we're really excited for what he, along with the other finalists, are all doing as Kentucky entrepreneurs. So with that, Akhil, again, congratulations. You had a great non-punching, non-violent victory at 5 Across. And man, it was great not to see just you playing air guitar with your check in October, but also to see you play the air guitar with the check in December. And man, I know on behalf of the Awesome Inc. team, we're just excited for you, for what you're doing. And for those people who might not have listened to the first episode, would you, or maybe they were at 5 Across, would you mind to give them a quick recap as to what Xena is and the problem that you are solving?
Sure, of course, yeah. Thanks for the very kind introduction, Garrett. I mean, everything that I've seen in 5 Across and what all you guys have done is just completely unique. I've been to different pitch competitions. I have seen different pitch competitions, but this 5 Across, the event that you guys put together, absolutely insane. My goodness, the energy in the room. When you pitch in front of people, you see like bored faces or stoic, stonewalled people just staring back at you or looking at their phones or doing something else. But in this case, in both the events, in the one in October and the one in finals, people actually listened to you. They were nodding along with everything. They were smiling with every little anecdote, and not just mine, but for every pitch, you could clearly see the focus and the love and the positivity that each of the entrepreneurs got. I think that's just completely, I feel bad for us because we won't experience that ever again for sure. But this is, I'm telling you, it's just mind blowing. The kind of environment that is created. And I would think it naturally comes across just because of the people involved in it. And it's just fantastic. So anyways, yeah, so Xena Intelligence, we help e-commerce brands grow on platforms like Amazon and Walmart through a software which basically automates the ads that are run on these platforms through automation and AI. Our goal initially and still is to help businesses who might not have access or resources to hire large agencies or a team of people to help them grow in the e-commerce space, which we hope our software would replace or do a much better job of them. And I think we have more or less succeeded. Most of our customers are early stage brands, family businesses, solopreneurs, passive income earners who have had considerable success, partly because of Xena, but mostly because of their own entrepreneurial spirit and the effort and the risk that they've taken. So I'm very glad to be in that position. And the name itself came from a TV show called Xena the Warrior Princess, which I used to watch quite a bit when I was young. I loved her. She's great role model. And her USP, if you'd like to say, is that she helps people in need from the skills that she is gifted and developed over time. And I think that is something each and every one of us should do. And that is something that I want my organization, my software to do as well.
That's great. Whenever you've mentioned Xena to me in the past, speaking of the character, it makes me think. I wish, knowing now that you won Five Across for the year, that we could have built or ordered some custom sword like she had to give to you. That would have been a really cool thing. Knight you as the winner, maybe, so to speak. Well, that's cool. And again, Akhil, I know you shared some pretty impressive numbers from what your company's accomplished so far, some projections. I know for at least next year in 2023 and maybe some other years down the road. But can you speak real quickly into the direction that you see e-commerce heading? And you mentioned working with Amazon, partnering with some of their e-commerce distribution. Can you speak to the direction that Amazon is heading from what you have seen?
Yeah, for sure. I think since the pandemic started, it really shook up the entire retail space, obviously for a lot of reasons. Because of lockdowns and inability to travel, e-commerce really took off and there was a insane boost. And so companies had to quickly adapt themselves to have a online presence, online channel, and this included small businesses too. And so I think there was a lot of timing that really helped us to be in the position to help these companies grow. And of course, when the lockdowns were lifted, there was a slowdown, mini recession, a lowering of retail spending, increasing inflation, all that kind of stuff. But I think e-commerce is here to stay. We have a very unique position because I don't think there is any other industry where somebody has such a huge monopoly in e-commerce revenue as Amazon does. I think last I checked, 60 or 70% of entire e-commerce revenue, at least in the US, goes through Amazon. That's pretty very, very unique. And rightfully so, they have put in a lot of effort. They have put together a system to make it as easy as possible for sellers to grow, and make the returns easy. They've done a whole lot of things, which is very impressive. But monopoly is not always a good thing. The second in line, you have companies like Walmart. Again, huge resources. I'm pretty sure they could have done so much more than they are doing right now. They are nowhere close to Amazon's traction or revenue in terms of online sales, but they're getting there. And then you have big box stores like Target and platforms like Shopify who are building their own ecosystem. So e-commerce is definitely here to stay. I sincerely wish there could be a competition to Amazon purely for the reason that it'll just improve everyone. It'll just improve the processes, technology, innovation, competitiveness, make it retail friendly, and so on. Even though I've built Xena's fortune on Amazon's back, I do wish there is a competition, and there will be inevitably. I mean, that's how the world works. Like Kodak was a market leader in films a few decades ago, and nobody thought there would be a competition to them or they would even survive. But where they are right now. So I'm just very, very curious to know who would be that, and if Xena can play a small or a large role in either building this Amazon competitor or helping whoever wants to do that. I think is a good way to go.
Well, speaking of the way that you work with Amazon, you've mentioned at Fibercross in both pitches, and to me one on one, that you relocated from Boston to Louisville, Kentucky. Can you explain why you made that move, knowing that most people think out west we have the Valley, Silicon Valley, which is you got that stigma. There's a great TV show about it, by the way. And up north, it's very entrepreneurial, very tech, very tech led. So why would you move from a very prominent, well-known, and successful area to Kentucky to pursue your entrepreneurial endeavor?
There are two main factors to this. So one, there was, and this is just before or during the pandemic, that a lot of cities, a lot of places were encouraging. Obviously, they want entrepreneurs to come in. They want technology innovation. So there were a lot of cities, even prominent ones like Houston or Denver or I believe Anchorage. So there are all these different cities of different sizes who wanted to encourage entrepreneurship. So money is one factor, sure, that's one way to. But if you don't have a community surrounding it, you can throw as much money as possible, but that's just not going to happen. And so I was in Boston, obviously Boston, New York, San Francisco. There's a lot of money going around in the startup entrepreneurial ecosystem because of the history and where they're located. And so I got this opportunity to go to three places, Houston, Louisville, and Aspen. So I've got almost similar opportunity to get financial support, apparently community support from the other places. So I visited the three places. But when I came here, I felt something different. I felt as if you have that feeling where you discover a part of I don't know, some cave where nobody else has visited, and you find these treasures, and you wonder why nobody else has been here before. You get that kind of feeling where the people are so genuine, they are supportive. I think I got connected to half of Louisville within a week, and not because I wanted to, because people introduced me, they were excited, and I think it was just a fantastic environment. And thirdly, I asked my wife, hey, listen, if you don't want to move, you're not moving. You've a happy wife, happy life. I'm not going to do anything that you don't want. But she was the one who actually told me, no, we have to move to Louisville. That is the space. That's what I felt. It's definitely a risk. We don't know anyone here. It might not turn out well, but oh my, has it been a good experience? Especially it's just the people, that it's nothing else. It's people make place.
Well, great. I'm glad to hear that you are feeling as if Kentuckians. So shout out to our state and the folks that are in the entrepreneurial community that have made you feel welcome. That's huge. And then I also know you mentioned, hey, the CVG, the Northern Kentucky Airport. There is a new Amazon hub, I guess, on the outside of Lexington and towards interstate. And then Louisville, we know, is a massive UPS hub. So you are sitting in some prime real estate, I would say, as to a couple of partnerships. So that's great for you. Well, Akhil, last question, maybe last two if I get wordy. You are a recipient of some handsome prize money. Again, you won $500 back in October. And I'm excited to hear how you've used that to grow your company. You also earned $5,000 cold hard cash, baby, and a really cool safe note. This is the first time we've done this, the first year, and you won $50,000 from Keyhorse Capital. Can you talk about how the prize money is going to grow your team, to grow the reinvestment in your company? Can you just explain to me people who've not been on your end winning prize money and share how you plan to grow Xena Intelligence?
Sure. I think one thing that people don't get to see much of it is that when you're running a startup and you have a team, there are so few occasions where you can celebrate or really stop and just appreciate what you've done, because every day is firefighting, every day is achieving targets, getting rejected, talking to different people and hearing different things. Very few occasions where you can be like, yes, we have done something. This is a hard milestone. This is an achievement. And this is probably one of the first and only, in a very, very long time that, winning this competition, even if I had the prize money was $100, the morale boost that came along with this is worth $1 million. It's the team was more excited than I was, which I was surprised by, because I thought they'll be, let's move on to the next thing. But no, the morale was so great. They took some 5 across stickers, they put it on their laptops. I did not see them this excited when we got into Techstars, even, which I'm like, I'm telling you, it's just the environment. It's just the photos they've seen. Somebody asked me, like, was there actually a dancing dinosaur who was clapping your back when you were receiving the check? I'm like, yeah, there was a dancing, and he was dancing all along.
That
And
is hilarious.
it's not dinosaur, sorry, unicorn. It's yeah. So I think that morale boost was so good, and so because of the boost in morale, I decided to use the money to, of course, give them a little bonus, Christmas bonus, to kind of show my appreciation to them. All this is because of the team, right? I'm just someone who talks a lot, but they're the ones who are actually working, and I gave them a boost. I took them out for dinner. Obviously, I'm not with them; it's virtual. But I asked them to go to a little resort, celebrate, because they deserved it. And I think that is what has been the most impactful to the company as well. And of course, because of the additional monies that we were able to get, we are in the process of looking to hire somebody, ideally in town, ideally in the state, so that I can actually work with somebody as opposed to just Zoom calls all day long. So I'm in the process of doing that as well, and this opportunity definitely gave me a chance to do that.
Well, excellent stuff. Well, Akhil, again, we are proud of you. I'm speaking on behalf of the Awesoming team. And again, we're excited to see hopefully what could become maybe the next unicorn company out of Kentucky. And again, also thank you so much to our sponsors, who title sponsor for all of 2022, Connect by Windstream. Thanks so much. And for the presenting sponsor of the December 5 Across Finals, which Xena Intelligence took home the W for. Again, that sponsor was the Morris Foundation. So we are so grateful for all the partners that we have in the Kentucky ecosystem, just to spur on entrepreneurs, to spur on real people solving real problems. And again, you got to hear from one of the best that we've come across. So Akhil, congratulations. We are very, very excited about what is to come for your company and also doing future work together. So with that, thanks again. Proud of you, and keep on kicking butt. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Awesoming's podcast. And another quick thank you to Lee Rosevere and a few members from our community who provide the music that you hear in this show. Lastly, give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. Or even better, come on down to our space. Come be a part of our community and get plugged in, and let's start something awesome together. You guys rock. We'll see you next time.